Welcome to another podcast from Heartless Chat. Before we get into it, I just want to say happy holidays from my family to yours. Also, if you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. This is a brand new channel.
I know the ops, man, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming our guest, Richard Clark here. Richard, how are you doing tonight?
Good, we got some cold weather outside because it's Christmas time, but I've been enjoying my time with my buddies here, and the company's good, and so everything's going good.
How long ago did you get in?
About a while. I actually went to Vancouver first to visit some family members, and then I came here for some buddies, for some friends.
How long you been in Peru for?
I went to a lot of different areas, so I visited Lima, I visited Arequipa, I visited Cusco. I also visited Sierra, which is called like the mountain area in Peru. And I also went up north as well, so like beach areas, so like Barranca. I went to Chimbote. So I was pretty much all over Peru, and most of it was just driving.
Did you just visit around or did you settle in an area while you were in Peru?
No, I settled in an area that was Ica, that is the farther south of Peru.
Did you grow up in Latin America?
No, I was actually born and raised here in Canada, born and raised in Brampton.
What are the difference in the cultural values from being raised in a Latin American country versus being raised in Canada?
I think that has a massive thing to do with religion. In Peru, there's a lot of communities, or Peru just in general, they believe in God, Catholicity, Christianism, mainly Catholicity. So they are brought up with those values. Not all of them are, but most of them are. Whereas Canada is more a diverse country, and it's not just Catholicity; it's also other religions as well.
God is real in Latin America, that's for sure. I mean, God's real wherever, everywhere, but it's very prevalent in Latin America.
Still at large, that's for sure.
Have you dated any Latina women?
Yes. So I went out with 6. I
Busy boy, busy boy.
Well, game witnesses game, so why not communicate? Why not get out there? It's not like I have the same opportunities here in Canada. So I did my shot, and what I realized is that in Peru, it is mandatory for you to buy the girl's meal. And I know it sounds silly, but I was able to connect with them, I guess, better after that. I had 5 short relationships in Peru, but then there was one that stood out for the 6th. That was actually a very good experience for a little bit for me.
What is the attitude like for dating Latino women? What is the character behind them?
I'd say they're very independent. Again, this is just what I was witnessing. Other people would say other things, but what I witnessed was if you cannot support them in other ways that they cannot, that they can support themselves, they won't be interested. You still need to support them in ways that they cannot support themselves in order for them to get interest or even be interested in you.
Latino women are known for their passion and fire with big attitude. Did you ever come across that? And how did you navigate it? Or how did you navigate the conflict with it?
When they're in that mindset, the biggest thing is just to be submissive for a little bit. Again, keep your boundaries, right? Express a little bit of how you feel, but don't fully come off as she's attacking you, so I need to attack her. Have a respectful mindset during it because everything is very much so in the heat of the moment.
When you're dating a Canadian woman, how do you determine what's marriage material versus a one-night stand?
It's a form of respect. Again, if they cannot let go of relationships that they had past tense, for instance, ex-boyfriends, if they're still in communication with them, that's obviously a big red flag because that means that they have connection issues that they're not willing to let go of. So if somebody is not willing to let go of people in their past tense life, how are they willing to formulate a future with you?
Well said. I really like that. What is your longest relationship?
If we're talking about women, I would say it was also a Peruvian relationship, but obviously my longest relationship that I ever had was with God because I'm a Catholic. But if we're talking about a woman, it would be this young lady that I met in Peru. I also met her in Peru, and I was with her, talking with her for at least 8 years.
What are 3 benefits to long distance relationships, and what are 3 negative drawbacks to dating long distance?
Okay, so I'll start with the 3 negative to long distance relationship, and I find that there's no physical contact. There's no form of assurance because you're away, so anything you say is just by word, and if she does not believe you or does not confide in you, then she will not believe you, and therefore that's trust issues, and that is a bad relationship. And the third one, I guess, would be, honestly, I'm just gonna throw it in there again. Physical contact. Physical contact is a massive thing that you need in a relationship, and I find that if you do not have that, it's very hard for you to strive in anything with that relationship. Really hard, really hard. The 3 good is that you have your space. You can do well, it's not like you can do whatever you want, but you have your space. You can go here, you can go there, you just need to text her. But even sometimes then, you don't even need to fully say yes because you can just put your phone in your pocket and just go bowling or do what you want to do, and she won't have to know. The second thing is,
It's hard to think. There's not really any benefits to a long distance relationship. If you really love a person, you'd want to have that person beside you at all times, and to be holding a phone instead of a person is, well, to say the least.
there's really no benefits. I guess more time to work on yourself, but even if you want to be with that person, there's not a lot of benefits.
What are your long term goals versus what you expect from a potential?
The long-term goals, I wouldn't know how to explain it with a partner. I guess I just want her to match me in a sense, which is very hard because I put myself on a very high pedestal. That's why a lot of people can't match with my energy, and that's why it's been hard to find a partner. But I feel like a long-term goal would be to see if both of us could live happily, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, where you don't even need to say anything and she can just connect with you because she knows who you are and you know who she is. So even communication is just flawless. You don't even need to talk a lot. Obviously, you need to talk here and there, but it's like you guys understand each other so well that communication is not even a question.
You definitely want a partner that's on your level, someone that matches your interests, someone that matches where you are in life, right?
A lot of people also think it's financially, that you want your partner to meet you financially. But my thing is, my partner does not need to meet me financially. As long as they have the mindset to improve, to progress in their future, and to make themselves better, is honestly what matters to me, is their actions. Do they actually want to progress? Do they actually want to get up there? That is the most important thing for me.
When you show up to a first date, are there some things that you judge right off the hop? Like, because I know when it comes to mating and attraction, you usually make a decision if you're attracted to the person in the first 10 seconds. Right. What are some of the first judgments that you have when coming across a person for the first time?
For me, obviously, it's just the basics. The clothes she's wearing, that's a big one. If on the first date we have, she comes in with saggy sweater and saggy joggers, is definitely no way in heck I want to continue the relationship, because if that's the way she's coming out to go out with you, then I'm presuming that would be the same way she's going to be visiting your family. And that is definitely something I look at. I also look at personal hygiene. That's a big one, to see if she's taking care of herself, because it shows how much she will take care of others. And how she talks, that's a big one for me as well. If she's talking like she's out of a video game, there's no way I want to continue it. But if she's talking as a real organic person, then yeah, I would like to proceed. So, in a sum, I would say clothing, hygiene, voice.
What if what she was wearing was absolutely like very revealing? It was the opposite of the sweatpants. What if what she was wearing was absolutely like
What I would say to that is I would still look at the hygiene and I would still look at the voice because normally I'd say that the voice follows suit with what they're wearing, but I don't want to say that. um, I believe that for me, if she's wearing those type of clothes, she's personally looking for attention. So it's like for me, there's a spectrum, right? And not too comfortable, but not too showy either. Right in the middle is good, you know, like a nice dress or something, or nice clothing. Not something too showy. I'd say the middle of the spectrum is good because even in this world, it's not good to have something more of the other. You need to try and find a balance, right?
Hi, Richard. I like to do these little segments for mental health because I really think men's mental health is important. I really like to spread tips and get a little bit of insight of what really helps men achieve happiness or an equilibrium to help get them through the week, through the month, through the year, or even just a day or one step at a time. So I got a couple of questions here for you. When it comes to achieving happiness, what does that look like for you?
For me, I feel like happiness is really big. That word is just massive. Just focusing on the word happiness is really massive, and I feel like for me, even for myself, I cannot achieve total happiness. There will always be something that's missing. Either the money in my account, the woman I can't be with, um, the issues my family is going through. I can only try my best to see what makes me feel full. And in other ways, you don't even need money to feel full. You can walk to the ocean, go into the water, and just for those split 2 minutes, that's happiness because you're getting out, you're enjoying. So nature is definitely a big one. The more I get out in nature, the more I feel connected with the world in some sort of sense. And as well as talking to friends, to people support me, that also makes me feel content with myself.
What conditions in your life currently would you want to change to bring you closer to happiness?
Well, sorry. The big thing is that the first thing for me is that you need to witness that there's even a problem. You cannot be in denial, and that's the first step in the progress of getting yourself better, to accept that you need to improve and that there is no denial. And then the second step for me is witnessing, okay, what can I do to help myself? Where can I put my energy and my time into getting myself better or the person I want to be for 2025, 2026? That's the second step. And the third step is continuing that process. And the fourth step, there is no fourth step. You need to continue the process until you get better as a person and to where you want to be. But the process never ends. You need to continue it.
How often do you find yourself living in the past or the future compared to the present moment?
You see, Sass, that's been a problem for a while now in my life. For the past couple 8 months, I've been living in the past. And it's been really hard because I've been through a lot of things. So I used to live a lot in the past. And if it wasn't the past, I was thinking about the future. But I was never in my present. I believe I've been out of my present life ever since I turned 5. Because, I don't know, of other things, looking at other things. I try to live in the present, but sometimes there's just too much to think about. When I was in Peru, when I was in Ica with my 6th relationship, She gave me a gift that I still adore today, and that's because she brought me back to the present. I wasn't in the past anymore. I wasn't living in the past anymore. I wasn't thinking about the future as much, because every single time she would say, well, slow down. We're here. Let's enjoy a movie. Let's watch this. So she gave me a gift money couldn't buy. She gave me a gift psychologists probably couldn't even give me. And because of that, I really cherish our friendship or what we had. Sometimes you need people or things or objects in your life to come and show you a different light. And now, I have to say, now I am living in the present. But a long time I was living in the past. And even sometimes I want to live in the future, I have her voice in my mind saying, slow down, you need to relax, you're here. So sometimes people come in your life not to stay, but to show you new things.
I think there are some tools to help you live in the present. The gym has really helped me live in the present moment. Reading has helped me live in the present moment. Being with that special person has helped me live in a present moment. I find myself quite living in the future. I'm always anxious, right? I'm always like, what am I gonna do next? I gotta do something next.
Jump in the gun, yeah.
But I think especially with that relationship with God, right? Sometimes when you really need it, He sends you a message when you're listening, right? When you're open and ready to receive messages, He'll send you a message. I actually had a friend today come and tell me hey man, you need to slow down a bit. And I think I really needed to hear that. So I find with a lot of people living in the past or the future, it's difficult and it's uncomfortable. And I can't tell you how to live in the present. It's something you're going to have to find out for yourself. But anyways, Richard, thank you for this interview today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I know the ops, man, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.